I know the thumbnail and the title of this video are very dramatic and have a lot of gravitas, but I hate to make it abundantly clear that I'm an idiot who knows shit about fuck and just rambles into a mic. Alex Kister is the creator of the horror series Mandela Catalog. It's a very good series, you should watch it. Every time a new episode comes out, I don't sleep for 2 nights. Recently, he came under fire after a document dealing with his alleged misconduct with fans took Twitter by storm, because it's always fucking Twitter. I'm not going to go over all the allegations levied against him, or his response, or my opinion surrounding a majority of it, because none of that is pertinent to the point I want to make. I just want to use part of it as a case study because I find it fascinating. A thing listed in the allegations that Alex doesn't disprove is that he used to run a group chat where he would talk to people from his community, stuff about like gender identity and like finding yourself and shit, which is awesome and well and good, but while there he would be actively complimenting people who posted selfies and even get into a relationship with someone in the chat. I hate the mere concept of something like that existing so much. Alex said in his response that he didn't see the person as a fan per se, this is a regular person, and that's nice, but that's not really the problem. People who are fans of your work enough to want to be in a group chat with you are going to enter any interaction with you with a sense of obsessive admiration, and using that as a jumping pad for an emotional relationship is not good. The case of Alex is pretty clear-cut. Man runs arguably one of the largest horror series on YouTube, so of course the performer-audience divide is going to be fairly large. But what does it mean for smaller creators? What does it mean for people with not much more of a following than the average person? How do I make this about me? A few years ago, I used to do Minecraft streams with someone who had a small audience, and that included someone who especially enjoyed my contributions. This person would inevitably eventually try to have a personal connection with me, which I reciprocated at first, but the more financial support he gave my streams, the more wrong it felt. I tend not to put as much stock into financial relationships as I do relationships. Regardless, despite me giving what I thought were pretty clear-cut signs of I'm not interested, the evident adoration accumulated to a point where he sent me a DM admitting that he had a crush on me. And all I could say was no. He seemed like a great guy, and he took it very maturely, but I just could not fathom the idea of getting in a relationship with somebody that starts with them obsessing over and as a result of financially supporting me. Like I said, I'm certain he's a great guy, and if he's watching this, I hope you're doing well, but that just is not something that I want to do. So seeing all the stuff with Alex Kister recently start coming out, it put this kind of at the forefront of my mind, and I think we should have a conversation about it. I don't have over 1,000 subscribers. This is nowhere near my day job, and I make like 20 bucks a month off of Patreon. But regardless, my numbers have been going up quite a bit. My subscriber count has basically doubled in the last 3 months since I decided to start doing weekly videos, and they seem to be resonating with a lot of people, which I genuinely appreciate. But as with any case of finding any level of success on any fucking site in this day and age, there's also some weird people. I'm not going to name names, and obviously I'm not mad if you leave a comment that happens to make me uncomfortable. It is in fact a skill issue on my part, but the views are going up, and now a lot of the people who are watching, I don't know who the fuck you are. Now, I'm going to sound like a dick, and I'm going to sound like I have a giant fucking ego and that I'm more full of myself than I have any right to be, but I have to say this early. I don't know you, and I don't want to. It's nothing against you personally. I'm sure that you're a great fucking person. I think you're a poggers individual, especially if you're watching me. That means you have good taste. But I have a rich and fulfilling life outside of YouTube. Obviously, that shit bleeds together sometimes, like when I made the video on the furry convention that's doing oddly well. But I don't want there to be any false pretenses about me based on the very small window into my life that you actually see. Being an online content creator is a very complicated balancing act because I have my personal real life, and then I have my life here on YouTube where I make videos and talk about shit. And especially with this 21st century post everything you do online and save it forever era of the internet, the dividing line between the two just gets more blurred every day. So I want to take this step for me to make sure that that line stays a little bit more solid on my end. My current boyfriend, despite being ridiculously supportive of me doing this YouTube shit, is someone I met in a Discord server. Just completely irrelevant to me. He didn't know who the fuck I was, I didn't know who he was, and I think it was probably the strongest connection that I've had in an online relationship. Not to start gushing and being cringe on main, but sometimes he'll just say the dumbest thing, and I'll just sit there and think, I want to spend the rest of my fucking life with you. But see, now I'm talking about my personal life, and this is why it's this is why it's hard. I don't know. I make a very particular effort to not say that I'm a fan of a person, but instead I'm a fan of the content that they make. Because in my head, those are two very different things. It makes sense to me because, I mean, I don't know anything about the person who's making the stuff except maybe some of their personality traits that bleed through into the final product. But beyond that, I don't fucking know them. We're not on a personal friendship level, nor would I want to be. I feel like a lot of the people I love on YouTube I'd probably hate to meet in real life. It also helps too because if they do some dumb shit, You don't feel personally invested in defending them? Like, if I pull a VTubers are bad 7 and I actually carpet bomb an orphanage, do not fucking defend me. You owe me nothing just like I owe you nothing. If I stop making stuff you enjoy, or if I do something morally reprehensible, kick me to the fucking curb. People aren't their content. Content isn't the people. There should be a clean disconnect between the two. Which, once again, internet age, it's hard as shit. I think at the end of the day, the overarching thought I have is, if you want to watch my videos, and if you're kind enough to donate to me on Patreon or anything like that, make sure it's out of a place of love for the stuff that I make and not for me. Because if it's out of love for me, then that's something I can't reciprocate. Like I said, I'm sure you're awesome, and I'm sure you think that I'm awesome, but you don't know that, and I don't know that about you, and we don't have to, and that's what makes us beautiful. Remember the fucking video where I ranted about this for 4 minutes? So basically, that's some reasons why you shouldn't support me. Now here's some reasons you should support me. Patreon, all these people are on it. Gordon, Hakai Mono, Foxy Boy, Kyla McRae, Fox Named Ari. Remember the fucking names. I've been shutting out Patreon at the end of each video, but I don't think I've ever actually said what's on the Patreon. Y'all get early access to every weekly video. The people on Patreon already saw this video on like fucking Monday or Tuesday. They were so ahead of you, dog. Also, sometimes I'll post outtakes and behind the scenes stuff on there. I recently posted the dry vocals from the Miss the Train video where I talked all distorted like this and sounded cooler than I actually am. I'm such a fucking dog shit voice actor. Also, you get your name shouted out like I just did a few fucking seconds ago. Were you even paying attention? All this can be yours for the low price of $1.50. I tried to make it $1, but Patreon wouldn't let me go lower than that. There's no difference between the tiers, although if you do get the higher tier, your name becomes hot pink in my Discord, so there's that. I think I said everything I want to say. If I didn't, I will simply add it in post, or I will just not do anything, and I will instead jump off of this bridge. Let me go. I can't kill myself. This isn't fair. Can't believe I actually managed to shoot this without fucking up the Polaroids. Damn, that's crazy. Fuck yeah, bud!